Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest fights to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game.
How did this all start?
I would have to say it started. So my husband started trapping, and he said, "Can you make me a hat out of these coons?" And that's where it started. Started with some small things, and
Okay.
just gradually kept getting to be,
So,
expanded.
so it wasn't an overnight like, oh, let's make a business
No,
out of this.
no, it's probably been 5 years, and it's only taken off in the last 3.
Okay.
So I had 2 years where I was just kind of. My kids were small.
Mhm.
I didn't have a lot of time.
Mhm.
It really took off. My husband had back surgery, and he was off work for 3 months.
Okay.
He started playing around with Facebook, started posting things,
Mhm.
and that's when it exploded.
There you go.
So that and we needed a second income or a income with
Yeah.
him being off work for 3 months.
Mhm.
So that's
Definitely.
when it really picked up, and he realized, what Facebook can do.
So, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Renee Carpenter, and me and my husband Ryan started R&R Trading Post.
And what exactly doll do you make? Like, we're sitting in
Um,
your workshop here, surrounded by lots of cool stuff.
just about anything, fur, leather, a lot of custom stuff.
Mhm.
I got, people will see something I make and they'll tweak it. They'll be like, "Can you do this? Can you
Mhm.
add this? Take this away?" So, and some people have some really cool ideas that I've never thought of.
Yeah. That's like we were just talking before we started recording this, and that's I found you guys through Facebook, and I brought you some furs to make me a hat or make me a pair of hats for me and my son Charlie. So that's how I met you and found your business. And sitting here, we've got all kinds of stuff, just furs hanging. You've got a jacket, you've got quivers, you have teddy bears. Like, where do these ideas come from? Oh, like possible bags. Like, where do you get these ideas to do all this stuff? Like, I've never even. And then I've seen on, like I said, on your Facebook, blankets, pillows.
I would say people's suggestions have
Okay.
really, I've built off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and request and things I've seen online.
Okay.
So I would have to say that. I've looked things up on YouTube
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and and started there, or started with a pattern and added and took away from what I liked and what I didn't like.
Mm-hmm. I know just from talking to you. So your husband traps.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started this, you guys were just using all your own furs.
Yes,
Okay.
and I was making stuff for me and him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Okay.
And I also sewed for a taxidermist. I did some pillows and things for him. That would probably be the earliest projects I ever did
Mm-hmm.
as far as leather sewing. Now,
Gotcha.
I've always sewed.
Mm-hmm.
I did quilts. I think I did my first quilt at like 15.
Oh wow.
So I've always had a passion for creating
Mm-hmm.
and sewing and making things.
Now, quick question. Somebody told me years ago that like to sew fur, it's like a special sewing machine. Is that true?
Yeah. One like
Okay.
this is your best. Yeah, like that one is just a walking foot standard sewing machine that you would use for like cotton
Mm-hmm.
and quilting and things like that.
Because I was up at the Great American Outdoor Show talking to one of those guys that sells products, and he's like,
Mhm.
I was like, it'd be cool to make one of these. And he's like, well, you got to have like this industrial sewing machine, and basically trying to
Yeah.
talk me out of like
Yeah.
never trying it, but was his point, I think.
Yeah. You got to have, your needles got to be really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Your normal needles that you use on a standard sewing machine will just break.
Okay.
And you'll just snap them off.
Sounds like you have some experience.
Yeah, I broke. And even on my leather sewing machines,
Mm-hmm.
I broke needles.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you break them. Even the one over there, I sew with, I've done an alligator rug
Oh wow.
for a taxidermist, and I was snapping them off one right after the other because it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's an industrial sewing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you still break them.
Yeah.
I still buy big packs of needles.
What's your favorite thing to make?
I would say probably teddy bears,
Okay.
and they're probably the ones I make the most of. They're all a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You mix and match different animals, so they're
Mhm.
all slightly different and kind of breaks up the monotony maybe a little.
Yeah.
But,
How many teddy bears do you think you make on average?
I don't know. It's got to be. I should count sometimes. It's got to be 100 and some.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
for
a lot of teddy
sure.
bears.
It's a lot of teddy bears. I've really been making those.
What's the most like unique thing you think you've ever made?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Unique. I've done a pie. Is it a pie ball? The deer that's like white and
Mhm.
brown. I made a vest out of one of those.
Okay.
That was different. I made a sheath out of a fox foot. And so I'd say those are probably the two.
hmm I would
most
say an
unique.
alligator rug's pretty unique
Yeah.
too.
That wasn't like, how should I say? That was like a sub job. It wasn't
Yeah.
my job. I was doing it for someone else.
No, I understand, but
Okay.
still.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's been quite a few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how many furs do you think you guys take in on average when just trapping you got like for yourselves? You and your
Oh, for
husband?
my goal is, I think my husband has 30 some this year. Foxes, red foxes.
Okay.
We caught 2 today. He has, I think, 50 some traps out for bobcat and fisher, and I
Mhm.
think we walked 10 miles today.
Oh, I bet.
So it was quite a day. That's the first I got to go along today because all the kids were in school.
Mhm.
I'm like, here's my chance. Yeah, and he doesn't trap a lot for coons. I think he said he got 6 this year,
Okay.
and he wasn't targeting them. They
Yeah.
just happened to
Yeah.
get in. And he
Yeah, he
got
seems like he targets a lot of red fox.
and coyotes. He
Mhm.
got 2. There's not a lot in this area, but
Mhm.
you can,
Do you have any gray fox down here?
a few,
Okay.
but not a lot. We
Yeah.
don't often catch
Yeah.
many. I had one get my chickens the other year. Other than that, we
Yeah.
don't catch a lot.
Okay. You guys are kind of like right here at the base of where the mountains start, so
Yeah,
the fishers, the bobcats, and the grays, where you typically
Yeah.
find them in Pennsylvania, that's you're
Yep.
just getting into it.
yeah. The neighbor caught a bobcat last year. Just,
Oh wow.
just not far from here, so
Awesome.
they are around.
No, I hope to try to get up and run one with some hounds this year.
Yeah. So you can in your area.
No, I live southeast corner,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go past
You're going
here.
north, and okay,
I'm gonna go up past here.
okay.
hmm
Yeah.
No, I live right where Maryland and Delaware in Pennsylvania. all
yeah.
meet.
Okay. So you
So,
have no cats.
no.
No cats. No fishers.
No fishers, no gray fox, a lot of reds.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
mounted fox hunting is very popular down my way.
Okay.
So
yeah.
actually, killing foxes is not a popular opinion.
Okay.
We're starting to see more coyotes down there, but not to the
Okay.
extent you probably have them.
We have them on our trail cams
Mhm.
right here. So yeah, they're here, but they move a lot, and
Yeah.
they're hard to get.
Mhm.
Some people are just, I guess, comes easier. I don't know. 'Cause
Yeah, I don't know much about trapping. Like we were just talking, it's not something that I have ever even, other than catching coon in live traps to train puppies, or I don't know much about
Yeah.
trapping at all.
Yep.
I bought a foothold once, and yeah, that never worked.
Okay. I don't do trapping myself. I just go along. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just just go along for the.
But you were saying that you don't even make a lot of stuff out of your own furs now.
Not a lot. I mean, I still have stuff he caught last year that
Mhm.
I haven't moved yet. We did 2 shows this past year, but the year before with COVID, there weren't any shows.
Mhm.
So that's where we would sell a lot of product that I've sewed up out of our stuff.
Yeah.
And I would sell it there. But yeah, then we had 2 this year.
Okay.
We did well. We moved stuff. It's just I have to try to keep my customers happy and get them their stuff and sew stuff for me. So
Yep.
it's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely understand. I see a bear hide. What is that?
it's actually a hat.
That's pretty cool.
It's a bear hat, like a mountain man hat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I know you guys sell a lot of I see you guys post a lot of quivers that you make.
Mhm.
Is that a popular product?
We do 2 archery shows
Okay.
usually. So we do. It's called ETAR.
Mhm.
It's an Eastern traditional archery show in Potter County.
Okay.
And they do a lot of shoots at the show. It used to be at a ski resort, and so they would set up through the ski resort, and you would shoot and go through the woods. So it was a pretty cool
Cool.
event, and it was only longbow and traditional shooting
Mhm.
at the event. And so we do well there.
So a more traditional quiver
Yeah,
is a popular.
is a popular thing with
Mhm.
that group of people who would come to that show.
Mhm.
We always do the Trappers Rendezvous. This year it's in Honeybrook.
When's that?
Beginning of June. It's always around June 8th because it's our anniversary. It always falls like right on that weekend.
Because it seems like this year when you guys went to it, I was like, I would have liked to go to that, but
It was far.
yeah.
I think it was like 3 or 4 hours or something. So
Yeah.
this year it'll be close for us. So I'm
Oh
glad
yeah,
for that.
Honeybrook's 45 minutes for me.
Yeah.
So
I think it might be 2 hours from here or something,
Mhm.
but that's better than 4. And then we'll do a show in Sullivan County at Forksville,
okay.
and that's also a bow show.
Mhm.
My kids like the bow shows because they can go there all weekend and shoot until they get their fill.
There
So
you
there's a
go.
lot of target shooting, running deer,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
Very cool.
Yeah, those shows are fun. They're a
Mhm.
lot of work, but they're fun.
Yeah.
You get to meet a lot of cool people.
Like you said, you got to make all that product ahead of time.
Yes.
And so it's a lot of prep work.
I usually try to take like 2 weeks and just make stuff for me
Mhm.
to sell at the show. And then, yeah.
How long does it take to make, I don't know, a couple different things, like a teddy bear or a pair of mittens or something?
Teddy bear, I'd say like an hour or so. I mean, it
Okay.
all depends. You got to, we split the hides open, we stretch them. So then they dry.
Mhm.
They're sitting there. I usually let them sit till the next day. Then you mark your pattern, cut them out, and sew them up. Usually I try to grab a couple orders with sort of the same thing, and I'll do, I think I have 1, 2, 4, and then there's a small 2 teddy bears over there. 7. I was doing 7 teddy bears at one time. So it's kind of hard to say, oh, 1 teddy bear took this
Mhm.
long. I did 7. It took me a whole day.
I gotcha.
But it
It makes
seems
it
to make it, yeah.
flow better. I get it.
Yeah, and I'll do all the hats at one time.
Mhm.
And so, yeah,
What's your, like one of the more time-consuming projects?
coats.
Okay. Like
Coats.
You were saying before, like
Yeah.
the fit.
You got to make sure it fits. You're always measuring, making sure
Mhm.
everything lines up. You don't have any bald spots anywhere, because I'll cut things out and be like, man, it slipped right there and it's in the middle. I didn't see that. So you
Yeah.
got to, revamp things.
Mhm.
So there's always that. But yeah, I would say coats.
Gotcha.
Coats are probably the most time consuming.
Even more time-consuming than like a big blanket.
Blankets are kind of easy because you just cut them into your rectangle.
I just didn't know because of size.
Yeah, they probably take about as long. They're not as stressful.
So even though they're time-consuming, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm
the
not
same
getting
stress
more
level.
gray hair.
Anything new this year that you did that like you've never done before?
No, can't say. Not really. Not really. Not sewing wise. I mean,
Mhm.
besides going on my husband's Bobcat line
Yeah.
today, that was the first. Yeah. Not sewing wise. Not that it sticks out to me.
Now, before you started making stuff, what did you guys do with all your furs?
He would sell them. And when he first started trapping, the market wasn't quite as bad as what it is now.
Mhm.
So you could get a little more. I don't remember what he got. I know most of the first stuff he caught is on my wall in the house, stuffed. So, or hanging there.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure.
How long's Ryan been trapping?
It's about 10 years.
Okay.
So it's been a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first started coon hunting. You could still get, I don't know, $10 for a coon.
Yeah. On the carcass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it was also when I lived in Ohio, so they were a little bigger.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think now it's like $1 or $2.
Yeah.
It's sad. Really sad. It's
Yeah.
hardly worth killing them for that.
No,
But
the
yeah.
only places I kill coon are the few farms that are like, we have coon problems.
Mm-hmm.
Please kill some coon.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they let me hunt there because
They want you to
they
get rid
want
of
me
them.
to kill coon. So
Yeah, they get in their corn and in their ag bags and.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a problem.
because
I
it's
remember
either I kill them during the fall or they kill them during the summer.
they're just gonna shoot them. Yep.
So
I think they crawl up on their ag bags.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have when I used to work at the one dairy farm that I still hunt it and I used to work there in high school. I used to fix ag bags all the time. Well, attempt. You're like
Taping
patching
them.
it, taping it. So
Yeah.
that's why I said he's one of them. He's like, shoot them or I'm gonna kill them in the summertime.
Yeah.
He's like
absolutely.
when they're damaging things.
And they live in your barn too.
Mhm.
I know my parents had them in their barn. So I grew up on a dairy farm. And when we first moved from Lancaster to Lebanon County, We had coons in our barn. My
Gotcha.
dad took care of them all.
Yeah.
They were gone. One thing I do like about the trapping is, so my husband often will set Thanksgiving, and so my kids have off school.
Mhm.
It gives them something to do. They get up early. They're out of the house for 3-4 hours, hopefully. And by the time they get back, they're tired and ready to sit down and
Yeah.
be quiet. So he put all these traps out. Now they're going to be off. They have a half day tomorrow, and then they're off till, I don't know, the day after New Year's, that Tuesday, I think.
Mhm.
So it'll give them something to do. The boys take turns, so at least they get to sleep in every other morning
Okay.
because he likes to go at the crack of dawn. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that is only like 7:30, but sometimes, it's 6 o'clock, they'll head out.
Gotcha.
That kind of wears them.
Mhm.
Wears them down.
Well, it's good that your
Boys
your
need that.
your kids are getting involved in it.
Yes, and they both skin, so they're 10 and 8. They'll soon be 11 and 9 beginning of the year. They both skin. They both did their first fox here at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But they like doing coons and possums. We always figure possums, they're not really worth anything if they ruin them. Well, whoops.
Yeah.
But it gives them good practice.
Mhm.
My 8-year-old thinks it's great. Every day he'll be like, "Dad, did you catch a coon? I want to skin it." So he's disappointed every time there's no coons to skin.
See, I'm not even that good at skinning coons because I don't skin many. Until last year, I hadn't skinned a coon in, I don't know, 8 years.
Okay.
I skinned a few when I lived in Ohio. And then after that, it was like no point. So last year, I started skinning some, and I'm like, this takes me forever to do it. And
Yeah. If they take their time, they're okay. Now, if they try to rush, that's when I'm like, you're going to cut yourself. You need to stop.
Mhm.
But if they take their time and they're just, going at it nice and easy,
Yeah.
then they do okay. And they're always like, I skinned the whole thing without a hole. Okay, good. But so that's their goal, no hole. So
Yeah.
they will take their time, and they don't have much else to do than game anyway. So
good.
they're not in a hurry.
It's a nice, it's a cool skill that most kids will never have.
No. And like skinning deer and stuff, they don't. I mean, this year was the first. I don't think we skinned a deer this year. We're just too busy.
Mhm.
It's just too busy. But in the past, we used to do all. We'd do all our meat,
Okay.
skin it, cut it off the bone,
Mhm.
everything. But this year we didn't. We got 4. So the boys
Wow.
are into that too.
Nice.
I'm not sure if my daughter will ever get into it. She's very girly. So we will see. She's only 6.
Mhm.
She will come out and pull tacks. You know how you have to put the animal on the board?
Yeah.
And you put the tacks in.
Mhm.
So she'll come out. She calls it pulling nails, and she'll pull those. But other than that, she's like,
So the one hat you made was for my 4-year-old.
Mhm.
And he's gone a few times with me now. This year, he went coon hunting with me. We shot a coon. So I was like, all right, we got to take it home. We got to skin it. And he hid around the corner behind his little workbench. 'Cause he's like, Dad, that's disgusting. Like, not disgusting. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Seeing I'm sure
Yeah.
your animals are a lot better condition, but after you shoot a coon and dogs
Oh, and the
pull
dogs
it,
bite it.
and it's typically not pretty once you get the skin off.
Yeah, true.
So,
No, they'll poke at them with their knife. I'm like, stop. I don't want the guts coming out. Okay. No poke. There's no dissecting anything here.
you figure no matter what, wherever you shot the thing, then you get dogs chewing on it,
Mm-hmm.
and once you open it up, it's a bloody mess.
It's a mess. Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't look that bad until you start
Till you
get it
start
open.
skinning it. Yeah. What if you let it lay till it gets cold and the blood kind of
That might help.
congeals? I don't know. And then it wouldn't. I know my husband says that with stuff that he traps. If you
Mhm.
wait till it gets cold and it's not like warm. Like if it's warm, he said they bleed a lot.
Never thought about it. See, because I've always been told if you skin it while it's warm, it's easier to skin.
It probably is.
So that's why I've always just tried to.
He has a wench. So like coons and coyotes, he will you start him at the back and you clip him in there.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if it's cold or
Gotcha.
warm for him. Now he can't use it for foxes because they're really thin
Mhm.
and they'll tear.
Okay.
Like you can literally just pull them. The skin will just rip,
Gotcha.
and then
You got a fox.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's
Well, no,
really.
it's good that you're getting your kids involved in this.
Oh yeah,
Do they have all
They-
kinds of fur products?
they have some. They will often ask, "Why don't you make me anything?" And I'm like, "Dude, because you're not a paying customer."
Yeah.
um, but they haven't asked lately. I guess they got their fill. I'm
Mm.
not sure. But they will come out and nuts around. They made little fur monsters for some of the shows where they took like little pieces of scraps. I think there was one sitting over there. But anyways, yeah,
These.
that's probably the ugliest one because that's why it didn't sell.
Gotcha.
And they made like Bigfoots and stuff.
That's funny.
And tried to sell them, but they sold. They sold most. Well, they were selling them for like $2 a piece, but
Mhm.
it was $2. They had fun with it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, other than that, they'll come out and stuff teddy bears. They always want paid though.
Kids these days.
Yeah, kids these days. I'm like, I feed you.
Hmm. So what are some of your products run price wise? I mean, I know obviously custom stuff varies, but like the stuff you guys make and sell.
So your cheapest thing would be the Davy Crockett hats. They're $75.
Okay.
Everything else is probably over that.
Mhm.
Your most expensive, I think I had a beaver bear, and I think I had it at like $165. That's probably top. I mean, if I don't make coats usually to sell unless somebody orders it,
Yeah.
that would be one of your more
Mhm.
expensive.
What are your quivers and possible bags and stuff like that? What are they sell for?
These are like 90. I think I had 95 on them.
Okay.
Quivers. It depends, of course, on what it is.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, the coyotes are 125, and that would
Gotcha.
probably be. That's one of your more expensive ones. Red fox are obviously cheaper. They're like 100.
Mhm.
And
What's a
coon.
possum?
I don't know what I have on that one. I think it's 90. I think is what I have on it.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a little youth quiver for
Yeah.
like a little guy.
Now I see a bobcat. You ever made anything out of a bobcat hide?
Yes, I made some teddy bears. Those are really cool.
Okay.
Quiver. Trying to think what else I've done. I've done mittens for a guy who sent his bobcat.
Mhm.
And I did a custom large teddy bear. I think it was for like a baby shower.
Oh wow.
And they did bobcat and mink. So it was pretty sweet looking.
Cool.
It was a nice teddy bear.
No, the whole reason I wanted to talk to you for this podcast is so my podcast, most of you guys that are going to listen to this run hounds, and with fur market, just same boat as trappers, but with the fur market in the tank, just some ideas of what we can do with some fur and how we can utilize it, because I think it's an awesome product, and at the same point, it's unique now.
Especially
one
if you
point-
harvest it, because you got a
Mhm.
story of,
Yeah.
how you harvest it, how you treat it, and all
Like-
the drama that went with.
Yeah, no, the one that you made for me, I can show you pictures of the tree, the dogs that we had that night, because I know exactly which coon that was. Now,
Yeah.
the other one, I don't remember. I have a picture of it. I don't remember which coon it was.
Yeah, true.
This year, I started writing the dates on them, so that way,
Cool.
I at least know, okay, that's
yeah.
that coon, so that way I can then look back, because then all my pictures, in my phone tell you the day. So,
Yeah,
okay, that coon was that day, and so I
then
keep
you
that
know.
straight a little better. But last year, the one coon that I had you made my hat out of, I had a 1.5-year-old dog, and he did a really good job on that track, and that's why we shot it, because we were on,
Okay.
like I said, most of the coon I kill are on dairy farms or farms that are around the house
Sure.
that asked me to kill coon. Well, this one wasn't. It was on public ground, and
Cool.
I honestly probably wouldn't have carried a rifle, but I had a guy with me, and he had a young dog, and he's like, oh, I'll carry it. I'm like, go for it. I'm like, I'm not carrying a gun. We'd already made one drop on a farm, and my dog looked terrible. So I was like,
Oh,
I'm already mad. The only reason I was like, we'll make a second drop is because I had this other guy with me, and he had his young dog. But my dog ended up doing really well on it, and I was super pumped up about it. And
Oh, that's funny.
so, like I
Yeah.
said, it's not just a hat. It's a memory of
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
night, and that my young dog doing really well that night. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I was just telling another guy that I was going to come here and pick these up and do this podcast, and he's like, that's awesome, because he's like, I have some stuff that he goes, I don't know what to do with it. He's like, I've got a bear hide, I've got my first cat, and he's like, I just don't know what I really want. So he's like,
Mhm. You can
to get-
only mount so much stuff.
Yeah.
And put it on your wall. So you're
and
like,
at the same point, you can only have so many wall hangers. You get
Yeah.
it tanned, and it's like,
what do you
how-
do with
how
it
many-
then?
bobcats or coons are you going to have hanging on your wall? Like,
Mm-hmm.
sure, one,
Yeah.
two. But-
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you can have a tangible product that you can wear, or, even if you're not going to wear it, but it's still cool to have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said,
Absolutely.
I've seen throw pillows,
yeah.
mittens.
Mm-hmm.
I think the teddy bears are cool, especially if you have kids.
Yeah.
Something different.
Grandmas will get them for their grandkids. I've even heard of people getting for their nieces and nephews. I'm just like, okay. I don't spend that much on my nieces and nephews, sorry.
Yeah.
But so that grandparents and parents getting it, and for significant others,
Mm-hmm.
they will get them. Christmas gifts,
Yeah.
Valentine, that kind of thing.
Which in your prices, especially if you have tan furs, they're really not that bad.
Try to keep
you
'em.
guys fleshed and then tanned all my stuff, so
Yeah, so I have to tack that on.
which I
Yeah,
understand. Like I said, I don't have any fur handling equipment, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
can skin a coon, but that's as far as I can go. I don't
Yeah.
have a fleshing board or a fleshing
Yeah.
knife or
Well, and that stuff all costs. It's like if you're not gonna do a lot of it,
so for the 2 hats that I had made, it's like, am I really gonna buy a knife? A good fleshing knife's a couple $100.
it can be depending what you're getting. Yeah,
So and then you need a beam, and then it's like, and then you need stretchers. So
yeah, it keeps adding up.
So-
We keep buying more because, and like we redid our fur shed just because we ran out of space last year.
Mhm.
I said, you realize we're gonna get more this year. We got to figure out where we're going with stuff. I'll have
Yeah.
to take you up and show you the fur shed then.
what was this building?
So originally, when I started in the basement. So it's
Mhm.
a 100-plus-year-old farmhouse with a dingy basement. It is cement floor. And then this is where Ryan would have skinned everything. This was
Okay.
his workshop. He had all his, tools, all his tools, and he did all his skinning in here. And he was out of room.
This is what, a 15-foot square?
Yeah, something like that. It's a little longer, 15 by, I don't know, 25.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would like to enclose the rest of the, because this half over here is just an open pavilion.
Okay.
So we could close that off
Mhm.
sort of easily. And then I would have double the space.
There you go.
So he moved. When COVID hit, we had just finalized our plans. I went and bought the insulation the first week the kids were out of school for COVID. And that's what we did the whole time.
Mhm.
Everything was shut down. We hung insulation and we refinished the whole thing. It was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Too bad for the people who were bored over COVID. We worked our butts off.
Yeah.
But we just finished that whole thing, and then I moved from the basement to here.
Okay. Now you got a
And
nice little setup here, like you said. I mean, I can see where you're saying you need some more space.
yeah, I'm
You're
running
busting at the seams with stuff hanging on the
too much
walls.
stuff. Yeah, this is still stuff that came back from the tannery.
Mhm.
So like your stuff would have came back. I don't remember if you hit first ship. I
No.
think you were second shipment.
I was second shipment.
This is
'cause
like
I remember
third
telling
shipment.
me.
So I was like, I'm finishing up. I have a few more orders hanging there, and then that's
Mhm.
it for stuff that we sent out. But I said it's about time because it's
You're back.
trapping season, and
Yeah.
it's coming in.
No, because I remember when I dropped stuff off last year, you're like, you just missed it. You're like, I just shipped
Okay.
stuff. So
Yeah.
you're like, you're going to have to wait a while just for it to go.
And then when it all comes back, I don't know how many hides. I should add it up. I just know it was a huge tanning bill. But
I bet.
when it all came back, and then, sorting through it all, because some people just get wall hangers.
Mhm.
So I pull all those out, call all those people, and get them out of here.
Yeah.
And then I start at the top of the list, how they dropped it off, and start making the stuff.
Mhm.
And that's,
Now- How far is the tannery?
It's a couple hours.
Okay. Do you ship stuff or do you take it all?
Usually we take it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Unless you have anything else, I think that's good.
I think that's good.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me. And
My
if
pleasure.
anybody is interested, like I said, it's R&R Trading Post on Facebook.
And on ourtradingpost.com
Okay.
is the website.
And you guys are on Instagram as well, right?
Yes,
Very cool.
yes.
And there will be a link in the show notes. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep 'em talking in the timber.